Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Thank you to the amazing pipers and drummers from the Vermont Institute of the Celtic Arts for leading our procession today. Everyone, please take your seats. I'm Barbara Rell, the Dean of the Grossman School of Business, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the entire Grossman community to today's special celebration. Let me briefly introduce the folks here on the stage with me. First, our keynote speaker, Robin Tauk. Robin, we're so honored to have you here and look forward to your remarks. Seated with Robin are some of our dedicated and hardworking faculty of the Grossman School of Business. Can you all please stand to be acknowledged? Thank you all for joining us to celebrate the achievements of our graduating students. I'd also like to acknowledge the official marshal of our celebration ceremony, Professor Rocky Lee DeWitt, who is sitting in the front row with our students. Commencement is an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the outstanding achievements of students at the University of Vermont Grossman School of Business. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate our 2023 graduates for reaching this significant milestone. I also want to extend special gratitude and thanks to the families and friends who supported our graduates throughout their studies. At the Grossman School of Business, we prepare you to become responsible leaders in a diverse, complex, global, multi-stakeholder, and sustainable business environment. Our students and faculty are passionate about building better organizations and a better society. The education you received at the Grossman School of Business will help you accomplish great things. This remarkable class of 2023 has persevered through many challenges these last few years. As we all know, their first year of college was interrupted by a pandemic, but you were agile and quickly learned how to navigate remote classrooms. Your sophomore year was a bizarre mix of remote, hybrid, and in-person classes with masks and social distancing guidelines, but you showed great resilience to work hard and take care of each other. Last year, you had to adjust back to full in-person learning, but you lifted each other up and finished strong, and you're now prepared to start your career and make an impact on the world. Some of you already have accepted job offers from companies such as Aldi, MassMutual, PwC, KPMG, Sparks Financial, Fidelity, and Microsoft, to name just a few, while others will continue to run their own businesses, and some plan to pursue graduate school. We're very proud of your accomplishments and look forward to you all building careers that will help change the world. Graduates, you are now poised at the threshold of new challenges and new aspirations. We encourage you to be kind, ambitious, creative, and compassionate. Continue to challenge yourself and challenge others. Share your knowledge with those around you and empower those in need. Also, take the time to be grateful to your family and friends who helped to get you to this achievement. Treasure today's celebration in recognition of your effort and accomplishment. On behalf of the faculty and staff at the University of Vermont Grossman School of Business, I wish you much success and good health. As per our tradition, one of our top undergraduate students will address fellow graduates and guests at this ceremony. We will begin by inviting our student speaker to the podium. Hunter Wimble, will you please come forward? Hunter is graduating summa cum laude, which means he's in the top 1% of his graduating class. He's got a strategic theme in entrepreneurship, a concentration in marketing, and a minor in economics. He was the recipient of the Outstanding Senior Award for Academic Excellence and Overall Achievement. During his time at UVM, Hunter excelled academically, making the Dean's List every semester. Congratulations. And becoming a member of the Beta Gamma Sigma Honor Society. Hunter competed at the Business and Management Case Competition in Mexico. And in his spare time, he was a valued member of the UVM men's club lacrosse and club hockey teams. After graduation, Hunter will be joining Visnick and Caulfield Associates in Boston, Mass. Please join me in welcoming Hunter.
Good afternoon to all family, friends, alumni, faculty, and staff who are able to join us today in celebrating this remarkable feat by the GSB class of 2023. I am extremely humbled and honored to be given this opportunity to share and reflect on my experiences and lessons learned through my time here at UVM and the Grossman School of Business. It is probably safe to assume that anyone who has had the chance of meeting me would most likely not use the word outspoken as a describing characteristic during our first encounter. So you can only imagine the look on my face when I was named as the student who would be delivering this address. However, if there is one thing that I have learned through my time here at college, you truly do just have to fake it until you make it. So even though there may be more truth to that statement than I would like to admit, I'm sure my professors would appreciate it if I took time to recognize and reflect on some slightly more valuable lessons learned throughout my academic journey. As a member of the class of 2023, I am sure I can speak for a majority of us when I say our college experience did not go quite as we expected. As a class, we experienced a lot of new normals during our time, from a COVID lockdown to a return with mask and social distancing. But throughout that hardship, I think many of us were able to reevaluate our current situation and learn to prioritize the important things in our lives more. And when we were finally able to return to a state of normal, I think we made sure to take full advantage of our shortened college experience. Whether it was spending more time with clubs around campus, early morning trips to the mountain, days at the waterfront, countless late-night study sessions spent in Calkin, to even later nights spent downtown Burlington relieving ourselves from those late-night study sessions, we all learned the importance of enjoying the company of our closest friends and finding ways to create everlasting memories. So as we get ready to walk across this stage today and accept our diplomas, I want you all to remember that despite what some believe, this diploma does represent more than just a piece of paper. This single sheet of paper symbolizes every single memory, accomplishments, points of adversity, and experiences we have had during our time here at UVM. As we reach this fork in the road on our journey, I want you all graduates to think about this moment and truly be proud of what you have accomplished and recognize the stints of difficulty we have managed to overcome. Today we are presented with a powerful and unique position to start a fresh chapter in our life, and we get to decide the type of impact that we can make not only personally, but to those around us. If there is one thing I recognized early on through my time here at the Grossman School of Business, it is that I was surrounded by some of the most innovative, intellectual, and inspirational students, full of limitless potential and the ability to make a significant impact on our society. So with all of these points in mind, as I have begun to reflect personally on what comes next for me, I have found myself looking into and resonating with the work of David Goggins, a retired Navy SEAL, triathlete, and author. Through this exploration, I came across an eye-opening perspective from Mr. Goggins, where he asked readers to imagine reaching the end of your life journey and being presented with a piece of paper demonstrating everything that you could have accomplished and could have become if you were not afraid to take big risks and make the hard choices in life, instead of remaining complacent and feeling okay with taking the easy way out, just to receive the smallest amount of short-lived gratification. So I want you to ask yourself, wouldn't you be willing to delay that temporary feeling of pleasure and experience a little bit of struggle if it meant reaching your full potential and capabilities? As I touched upon earlier, every single one of us has already demonstrated our ability to overcome significant challenges. So with that said, we cannot let the fear of failing be what limits us from overcoming temporary hardships to reach our desired goals. Because that feeling of failure we have all faced at one point or another is not only temporary, but I can promise you that feeling of regret could be something that will linger forever. With this idea in mind, I want to leave you all with a challenge. I challenge you, class of 2023, to never limit yourself and do what is comfortable or what is expected of you. Listen to those deeply rooted passions and be willing to take every possible risk and opportunity to push yourself beyond what you think you are capable of achieving. Every one of us has the opportunity to accomplish exceptional feats, but it is up to you to decide the impact you would like to make. Once again, I want to congratulate the class of 2023, and I cannot wait to see what you all accomplish next. Thank you.
Hunter, thank you very much for your remarks. Very inspiring. I now have the pleasure of introducing our 2023 graduation celebration speaker, Robin Tauk. She's a third-generation co-owner and former president and CEO of Tauk Inc., which is a 98-year luxury travel company started by her grandfather in 1925 in New England and Eastern Canada, and it operates in 80 countries on 7 continents. During her career, Robin oversaw operations in Africa, China, Southeast Asia, Europe, Central and South America, India, and the Middle East. Just about everywhere, right, Robin? Robin has been praised as a visionary leader who unlocks the power of global connections through the creation of travel opportunities for both travelers and destinations alike. Robin is a marketing graduate of the University of Vermont Business School, and in 2000, she was honored with a UVM Legacy of Leadership Award. She's also a graduate of the Stanford University Graduate School of Business Executive Program and the University of Cambridge's Sustainability Leadership Program. And she's the founder and a strong supporter of our Family Business Initiative at Grossman. In 2021, Robin took on the role of chairwoman of Tourism Cares, one of the largest nonprofits in the travel industry whose mission is to unite the travel industry and advance its positive impact to help people and places thrive. They do this by convening over 180 company members towards safe, sustainable, equitable, post-COVID-19 recovery of the global travel and tourism sector. As Tauk Inc. nears its centennial 100th year in 2025, Robin is working with her family to transition the legacy tourism business to a 4th generation. She's inspiring them to lead in a new future, to embrace innovations, disruptions, and opportunities, and to focus on a net zero carbon impact future while advancing prosperity, wellness, mobility, cross-cultural understanding, and peace among traveling world citizens. Please join me in welcoming Robin Tauk to the podium.
Thank you, and welcome everyone. Congratulations, Hunter, and your entire class of 2023. Esteemed faculty, honored guests, families, friends of this great class, thank you for inviting me back to the University of Vermont. It's an honor to join you today to celebrate the achievements of such an impressive group of individuals. And I'm so proud of not only all of you, but I'm so proud of this university, a top-tier green university among 700 U.S. universities that prioritize the environment in all its disciplines and operations. How fitting for the green state of Vermont. Take in today the end of your student journey, and a new journey begins tomorrow. Remember this day. It is a true milestone for you. And today I'm excited to be here to talk about a fascinating aspect of the human experience, which I will simply call the great journey of life. As a lifelong businesswoman in travel, creating journeys of a lifetime has been my career. I walk these snowy, icy sidewalks, back when there were still cars on Church Street. And I attended all your business classes to eventually lead a 100-year family business, launching new travel experiences on all 7 continents. And a recent journey took me to the high Arctic for climate action in business. So I hope my 50-year journey in business will inspire you. Yet you are a unique generation. Once the children of the millennium, your generation is way on the cusp of so much societal, geopolitical, and technological change. You step forward today to realize big dreams in a century still young. You are the multi-year college grads of the 2020 COVID crisis, as we've heard, but this was the world's biggest disruptor, with its upheavals to social norms, well-being, work life, and employment. And you did it, and dare I say, you are so fortunate, for the world is surging forward with an amazing rebound, retooling, reimagining the future, a time of exponential innovation. You are resilient, you are strong. Class of 2023, our country and the world needs you, especially in business, calling you for change for the better, building forward better. And if there ever was a class to deliver on that, the GSB class of 2023, you are it. And for the women, in the audience, in my generation, women signed up freely for business, engineering, doctorates, but that was not definitely so for our mothers. In fact, as the eldest daughter, I was the first woman of my family of any generation to graduate with a 4-year university degree. In fact, my mom is here today. She was last here at the bicentennial, 1976, at my brother Chuck's UVM graduation. She was 46 years old. She is back again today, 46 years later, 92 years young. Lee Tauk. Thank you. Telling you, she wanted to be here and she wanted to be with us and for all of you, and to continue to support equal rights, as no one should feel held back. Indeed, I had to work hard and face hurdles since the 1980s. I explored a few career choices. I worked in hotels and the yacht charter industry in sunny and warm California after leaving cold Burlington, and I eventually again joined our family's travel business. Alongside my brothers, one of whom is a fellow graduate and with us today, we took on significant responsibilities in a changing world. Travel is now one of the largest industries, employing 1 in 10 people worldwide, and it is a big percentage of the GDP for many developed and emerging nations. Coming out of UVM, we took it on. We created our own chapter of the business, introduced hundreds of thousands to the joy of discovery through travel while facing the online business world and a brand name completely unknown outside the United States. In the 1990s, we transformed from a domestic tour operator to a global travel company in over 80 countries and on all 7 continents. Now, ours is a seemingly cool, fun profession. You know, we get to design cultural journeys, family trips, African safaris, ocean expeditions, and mountain adventures. Yet, looming over us and all family businesses was a sinister 3rd-generation family business curse, which I will call wonder, thunder, and blunder. i.e., the 1st generation, my grandfather, nurtures the new business here in New England and Eastern Canada. That's wonder. The 2nd generation takes it to the highest levels of success and prosperity, thunder. And then the 3rd generation, my generation, usually screws it all up. That's the blunder. But thanks to the education that we received here, that wasn't the case. With hard work and a thrilling journey, we faced and embraced mighty big disruptors: global terrorism, severe natural disasters, wars and political unrest, and more recently, the shutdown of literally every border in every country. Both following 9/11 and during the COVID crisis, we had to shut down our operations completely for a long time, the first times since World War II. There were no handbooks for this level of business crisis, and it was, in short, an amazing journey. We also embraced new technologies and systems, and we faced so many startups. Uber and Airbnb alone upended our legacy transport and lodging industries across 190 countries. Here at UVM, the business fundamentals, management skills, strategies, ethics, and teamwork which we learned pulled us through crisis after crisis. Thank you, UVM. Graduates, I know you will face daunting challenges. Embrace them. They will make you stronger and wiser. You will have intriguing careers, and you will solve the bigger world problems that will create a sustainable world for all of us in future generations. You are enabled with a double golden diploma, the proud green and gold, as you were taught business with purpose and environment with a greater purpose. Less than 1 in 100 business schools can claim that level of higher education. And the new UVM Simba one-year Sustainable Innovators Master's Degree in Business has become the #1 green MBA of its kind in America and recently recognized at the World Economic Forum. We all deeply believe in your potential. So what is a journey? This business I am in and you are on. Journeys can be literal, a travel journey such as a tour, a cruise, a road trip, or an adventure, or metaphorical such as the journey of life. It can surely be intellectual as this journey of higher learning. But overall, a journey involves leaving one place or state of being and arriving at another. And inevitably, it involves overcoming challenges along the way. In human experience, it's about curiosity, adventure, grit, determination, and transformation, that word we heard today. And for this 222nd commencement, I researched what are the greatest journeys of all time. Here goes. The 4 greatest journeys of all time. Number 1, the journey of human evolution of our species. Number 2, the journey of spiritual enlightenment. Think Buddha, Muhammad, Moses the prophet, and Jesus. Journey number 3, the journey of epic exploration and of space. And journey number 4, the journey of personal growth, a journey that we each take during our lives as we seek to become the very best versions of ourselves. It takes time, belief, perseverance, and there will be obstacles. Face and embrace them. Keep learning, keep exploring all your life. And just what is your vision? Where do you see yourself? As you think about that, I'm going to conclude with a favorite family poem called The Station by Robert Hastings. Tucked away on our subconscious minds is an idyllic vision. We see ourselves on a long, long journey that spans the continent. We have left Vermont. We're traveling by passenger train, and out the windows we drink in the passing scene of cars on nearby highways, of children waving at a crossing, of cattle grazing on a distant hillside, of row upon row of corn and wheat, of mountains and rolling hillsides, of biting winter and blazing summer. But uppermost in our minds is the final destination. On a certain day, we will pull into the station. We'll be so excited. Flags will be waving, many wonderful dreams will come true, so many wishes fulfilled, as we pace the aisles, chatting away, whiling away during many hours and days, waiting, and waiting for the station. When we get to the station, that will be it. When I'm 21, that will be it, we cry. When I graduate, when I put the last kid through college, when I win the big promotion, or when I reach the age of retirement, I shall surely live happily ever after. But the station somehow hides itself at the end of a long, glorious train track. Sooner or later, we realize that there is no one station, no one place to arrive at once and for all. The true joy of life is the journey. So embrace the journey is a good motto. So stop defining the destination. Instead, climb more mountains, meet more people, swim more rivers, watch more sunsets, laugh more and cry less. Life must be lived as we move along. When I look back at my life and all the many journeys I have taken, we have taken, what enriches us the most are the surprise, spontaneous moments. The people who suddenly cross our paths, who change our lives, who join us on our journey, and of course, our friends and family who are always with us. Look around you today. These are the people, new friends, your family, caring faculty who are your strongest supporters and your best travelers in life. So class of 2023, all aboard. I wish you joy in your journey, the greatest journey of all time. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin, for your comments and a great advice to our students. And on behalf of the class of 2023 and the entire Grossman School of Business community, I'd like to present you with a small token of our appreciation.
Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. It's really an honor. Thank you.
Small. And now, the time we've all been waiting for is here. We will begin the presentation of diplomas. Bachelor degree graduates in the top 1% of their class graduate summa cum laude. Students in the next 3% graduate magna cum laude. And students in the next 6% graduate cum laude. Thomas Chittenden, director of the undergraduate program, will read the degree candidates' names. As you cross the stage, please take a moment to shake hands with one of our distinguished faculty members before receiving your actual diploma from me. Congratulations.
So, it is truly an honor to herald the names of your loved ones as they cross the stage. I want to apologize in advance if I put the emphasis on the wrong syllables. Sorry, hard to do that. Hunter Wimble, summa cum laude. Barut. James Douglas Maciel. Drew Bates. Trevor Aaron Davis, cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma. Jada Dean. Bethany Filomena Delgadillo. Cameron Deal, cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma. Drew DeMario. Trang T. Doe. Jack William Duggan. Zachary Dunn. Thurman Dusablon. Erin Elizabeth Erdman. Michaela M. Farnham. Patrick Jared Faust, magna cum laude, honors college scholar, and Beta Gamma Sigma. Molly Elizabeth Feeney, Beta Gamma Sigma, Senior Award for Excellence in Sustainable Business Theme. Catherine Jane Ferry. Madison Finelli. Nicholas J. Fiorella, BGS, Beta Gamma Sigma. Catherine Vale Fitzsimmons. Jack Fletcher. Olivia Gary. Abigail Brianna Gisevich. Ethan James Gilmore. Samuel B. Gluck. Madison Kayla Golobeck. Presenting the degree for the next recipient is her father, Meredith Rebecca Gove, Grossman School of Business Student Engagement Award, degree presented by Associate Professor Stephen Gove. Maxwell Alexander Graham. Ian Matthew Groom. Ryan Garino. Michelle F. Hall. Ryan Hamilton. Samuel Hansen. Olivia Harrison, magna cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma, also awarded a Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics. Farhan Hassan. Emma Havers. Ryan Heindel. Jason Hildebrandt. Jamie Glenn Hobar. Jessica Rachel Howard. Martha Elizabeth Hurdy, Weinstein Award for Senior Excellence in Accounting, and also awarded a Bachelor of Arts in Studio Arts. Elizabeth Humphrey. Catherine Jane Huntress. Stone Jacobs. Anna Jeffers. John McCaffrey Jex, cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma. Caroline Jones. Abraham Katz. Daniel Levon Kasarian. Colin Kerr. Logan Christian Kenny. Alexandra Nicole Kitile. John DeForest Kidder. Kevin Charles Kizis. James Scott Conley. Kylie Jane Latham, Beta Gamma Sigma, Senior Award in Excellence in Entrepreneurship theme. Andre G. Latulip. Antonio Lepore. Andrew Lesko. Nicholas M. Levine. Lucho Lee. Robin Lamarez. Robert McCarthy Linden. Quinn Liu. Nicholas Kevin Lyman. Adam Lyon. Zoe McDonald, magna cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma, Stephen Penwell Award for Excellence in Finance. Matthew David McDougall. Will McIntosh, cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma. Dylan Mackey. Jacob Mager. Timothy J. Manning. So we have a twin from the Bachelor of Science who graciously came to this ceremony so his family could join us here. Daniel Francis Manning, welcome to the Grossman School of Business. Bachelors of Science, Exercise Science. Zachary Marks. Alita Janine Mathers. Connor McCormick, cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma. Casey McKay, also awarded a Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Studies. Spencer McKee. Fiona Mary McMahon. Isabel Jewel Menard. Lillian Merchant, Grossman School of Business Student Engagement Award. Emily Mativier. Olivia Anna Macalizi, Second Lieutenant, U.S. Army. Amanda Minsk. Cameron Elizabeth Morrissey. Chase Mitchell. Van Wynn. Colby P. Norton. Victoria Holly Nyland. Jacob Neistat, cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma, Stephen Penwell Award for Excellence in Finance. Alec J. Ochoa. John O'Keefe. Eben Osborne. Lucas Gregory Pensack, cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma, degree presented by Faculty Emerita Joanne Pensack, his mother. Ryan Peoples. Bo Werner Pike, magna cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma. Wesley Folger Pinkham. Trey Paquette. Christopher Potter. Ed Precourt. Brianna Hallie Price. Alexander Theodore Razov. Zachary John Regan. Samuel Garrett Riley. Daniel Justin Resnick. Jack Miller Ricciardi. Timothy John Roberts. Christian Lee Rosato. Allison Rouleau. Tyler Ruthier. Matthew Saluti. Anne Marie Schaefer. Justin Michael Sell. Colin Sharkey, Beta Gamma Sigma. Jacqueline Ship. Elliot Lawrence Shoemaker. Maxine Sidman. Nicholas James Siegel. Anne Lauren Scudera, summa cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma, Senior Award for Excellence in Global Business Theme, Senior Award for Excellence in Business Analytics, and also awarded a Bachelor of Science in Psychological Science. Benjamin Slattery. Gabriel Martin Ortiz Smested. Liam Stacy. Walker Jordan Stapleton, cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma, Johnson Lambert LLP, Master of Accountancy, Vermont Scholarship. Nicholas John Starosta. Olivia Quinn Stevens. Christiana Sturtak, Beta Gamma Sigma, Grossman School of Business Student Engagement Award. William Andrew Swaney. Lev K. Taylor. Mason James Thakara. Denali Isabella Tontini. Patrick R. Tusingya. Lily Christine Trainer. Evan Brennan Tremblay. Amanda Turner. Paige Van Beaver. Matthew Vasconcelos. Elena Caitlin Volmar. Jake Wagner. Christian Tyler Walker. Alex Michael Warner, cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma. Emma Burke Watson. Trevor Skiffington Webb. Daniel K. Wiener. Lucas W. Wessel. Alexander White. Samuel James Wigan, cum laude, Beta Gamma Sigma. Haley Wilcox. Andrew Wilkinson. Logan Theodore Williams. Tyler Joseph Wilson. Blake Alexander Winkley. Mia Lauren Wood. Ming Za Wu, Beta Gamma Sigma. Yawen Wu. Hao Tang Su. Jackson Albert Zagurski. L. Pearl Zimba.
Well, let's all congratulate the graduates of 2023. Graduates, today you join an exclusive group of alumni of the highest caliber. Our alumni play an important role in the student academic experience and success by providing internships, full-time jobs, participating as guest speakers, hosting students during networking trips, and giving back generously. Please keep in touch using phone, maybe, email, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, or go ahead and innovate the most recent social media technology. Keep us informed of your achievements and your advice on how to improve the Grossman School of Business for the next generation of business students. As you go forth into the world with your ideas, passion, and aspirations, remember that you are ambassadors of the University of Vermont Grossman School of Business. Bear in mind the essential values of humility, intellectual curiosity, integrity, and responsibility. Graduates, this is your special day, but I know that you did not get here alone. I'd like you to ask you all to please stand up, and we're going to give thanks. First, let's thank the faculty who encouraged, inspired, and challenged you to do your best work. Next, let's thank the GSB staff who have been by your side since orientation and who worked hard to put on this ceremony for you. Finally, I'd like you to turn around and applaud your family and friends for their loving support that made this day possible. So prior to our recessional, I have just a few requests. Please remain seated until all of the platform party, followed by the graduates, have filed out of the Flynn. Guests should meet graduates out front of the Flynn and head down to our reception, which is in the Green Mountain Ballroom at the Hilton. We hope to see you all there. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2023 from all of us at the Grossman School of Business. I hereby declare the 2023 UVM Grossman School of Business celebration concluded.